You have a picture of the future in your head. You know what you want your life to look like. You can see yourself winning, improving, becoming more. But when it is time to actually act, nothing happens. You pause. You delay. You tell yourself you will start later. Later turns into tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into next week. And before you realize it, you are still in the same place you promised yourself you would leave. This is more common than people admit. There are people who are not lacking vision, intelligence, or potential. They are full of ideas, full of ambition, but stuck. And what hurts the most is not failure. It is knowing you could do more and watching yourself choose not to. This is not a character flaw. This is not proof that you are lazy or broken. This is about how the human brain works and how certain patterns quietly take control over time. And if a pattern was learned, it can be unlearned. But first, you need to see the pattern clearly. Your days probably start with good intentions. You wake up thinking, today is the day I finally move forward. Today, I will work on the thing I keep postponing. Then you check your phone. Just for a moment. That moment stretches. Minutes turn into an hour. An hour turns into most of the morning. You tell yourself it is fine. You will start later. After lunch. After one more break. By evening, the energy is gone. You feel heavy, unmotivated. And once again, you push everything to tomorrow. At night, the guilt shows up. You replay the day. You promise yourself that things will change. But when morning comes, the cycle restarts. And after months, sometimes years, you start to wonder if this is just who you are. Here is what is actually happening. Inside your mind, there is a tug of war. One side wants growth. It wants achievement. It wants progress and purpose. The other side wants comfort. It wants safety. It wants to avoid effort, uncertainty, and rejection. The comfort-seeking side is winning, not because you are weak, but because the brain is wired to avoid pain and chase immediate relief. When you think about working toward your goals, your brain sees risk. It sees effort. It sees the chance of failing. So it redirects you toward something easier. Something familiar. Something that gives instant pleasure. Scrolling. Videos. Distractions. Your brain rewards avoidance with a quick chemical hit that makes the discomfort disappear. And the brain learns a dangerous lesson. Avoiding effort feels good. This is not laziness. This is conditioning. The problem is that while your brain protects you from short-term discomfort, it quietly destroys long-term fulfillment. Each day you avoid action, the habit of avoidance grows stronger. Each day you choose comfort, your confidence shrinks. And over time, you start believing a lie about yourself. That you are incapable. That you are inconsistent. That you are not enough. You probably think the solution is motivation. That disciplined people are just built differently. That once you feel inspired, everything will change. That belief is wrong. Motivation is temporary. It rises and falls. You cannot build a life on a feeling that disappears under pressure. What actually changes behavior is structure, systems, repeated small actions. Discipline is not a personality trait. It is a skill built through practice. There is another trap keeping you stuck: perfectionism. You have a clear image of how things should look. So clear that starting imperfectly feels unacceptable. You wait until the plan is flawless, until you feel confident, until conditions are perfect. They never are. Perfectionism is not high standards. It is fear wearing a respectable mask. If you never start, you never fail. If you never try, your self-image stays safe. But deep down, you know that safety is costing you everything. Here's the truth most people avoid. You are scared. Not of effort, but of discovering your limits. of finding out that success requires more patience than you expected, of realizing that growth is slower and messier than your imagination promised. So you stay in planning mode, in dreaming mode, because fantasy has no consequences. But progress demands exposure. Failure is not the enemy. Stagnation is. When you fail, you gain feedback. When you do nothing, you gain regret. Every person you admire moved forward without certainty. They acted before confidence arrived. They built momentum through repetition, not inspiration. And that is what changes everything. Momentum starts with acceptance. You will not feel ready. You will not feel excited. You will not suddenly love discomfort. You act anyway, especially when resistance shows up. Because every time you push through discomfort, you retrain your brain. You teach it that effort is survivable. That avoidance is no longer the default. Start smaller than your ego wants. 10 minutes of focused work. 1 page. 1 call. 1 step. Small actions repeated consistently are more powerful than big plans that never happen. Consistency creates identity. Identity shapes behavior. At first, discipline feels uncomfortable. Your mind will argue. It will negotiate. It will beg you to delay. Ignore the noise and act. Over time, the resistance softens. Not because work becomes easy, but because your brain adapts. Your environment matters more than willpower. If distractions are close, you will use them. If your space is chaotic, your focus will be too. Design your surroundings to support action. Remove friction. Reduce choices. Put the phone away. Clear your workspace. Schedule focused time and protect it. Make distraction inconvenient and focus automatic. Another hard truth. Consuming content feels productive, but often replaces action. Learning about change is not the same as changing. You already know enough. What you lack is execution. At some point, information becomes a hiding place. Also, accept this. Your early work will be bad. That is normal. That is required. Quality comes from volume. Skill comes from repetition. You are not here to be impressive. You are here to begin. You will stumble. You will miss days. You will slip back into old habits. Progress is not clean. The difference between people who change and people who stay stuck is not perfection. It is return speed. They fall and get back up quickly. Stop punishing yourself for setbacks. Shame does not create discipline. Self-respect does. Talk to yourself like someone worth helping. You are not lazy by nature. You are conditioned by patterns, and patterns can be replaced. Ambition without action is illusion. Action without compassion burns out. You need both. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop planning endlessly. Stop outsourcing responsibility to motivation. Take one small step today. Then take another tomorrow. That is how momentum is built. That is how identity changes. That is how dreams leave your head and enter reality. No one is coming to rescue you. But you do not need saving. You need to decide. You are not broken. You are not hopeless. You are simply stuck. And stuck is temporary. Start now. Not when it feels right. Not when conditions improve. Now, one action, one decision, one day at a time. That is how lives are rebuilt.